Okay, so good morning, everyone. For today, we will be discussing ecology. Let me start with this one. Okay, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin yan? Sige, let's see. Tingnan muna natin yung let's see first, our general objectives, okay, would be to foster clear awareness of and concern about economic, social, political, and ecological interdependence in urban and rural areas. Another one would be to provide every person with opportunities to acquire the knowledge, values, attitudes, commitment, and skills needed to protect and improve the environment. Okay, to create new patterns of behavior, individual groups, and society as a whole towards the environment. Ayan. Okay, so let us connect ito at saka yung ating binasa kanina. 'Di ba iisa lang ang ibig sabihin? It only means we are stewards of our environment. And this is the reason why we're going to discuss this morning some basic ecological concepts in ecology. Okay? Ayan. Why do we have to, by the way, sorry. We are stewards of our environment. Hindi tayo owners. So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng stewards? Tagapangalaga, di ba? So, how will you be able to steward or make alaga? Tagapangalaga kasi, di ba? Sorry. Paano natin mapapangalagaan if we do not understand how our environment is working? Okay, so we're going to discuss this morning some basic ecological concepts. Okay, so to give you a brief background, what is ecology? Basically is derived from two Greek words. Ano yun? Oikos, meaning house, and then logos, meaning the study of. So in other words, since tayo, lahat ng species, lahat ng organisms, we have a house. Ano yung house natin? Yun yung ating environment. The earth itself is our big house where all of us are residing. So a study of it will help us understand how we can really take care of our environment. So the ecology basically is the study of the relationship between organisms and their environment. Okay? Liwanag? Alright. So let's take a look at how ecology is related to other sciences. Kasi ecology is a branch of a science. What branch of what particular science? Okay? It's a branch of biology. Kita nyo, di ba? So ano yung mga branches or taxonomic divisions ng biology? So we have bacteriology. These are just examples. There are a lot more. Kaya makita nyo, bacteriology, ornithology, botany, entomology, etc. Ano ba yung bacteriology? Siyempre, study of bacteria. Ornithology, study of birds. Botany, study of plants. Entomology, study of insects, di ba? Now, all of these birds, plants, insects, bacteria, including humans are what? Living in the earth. And lahat ng ito, if you go back here, lahat yan may ecology. Okay? So we study their ecology. Okay? So yan, that's how related. So it's just a part and parcel of a whole biological science. Diba? Ang lawak, sobrang lawak. But let's focus on ecology. Okay? So there are two subdivisions of ecology. Ecology lang. Una, we have auticology or auticology. It deals with the study of the individual organism or an individual species with emphasis on the behavior as a means of adaptation to the environment. Ano kayang ibig sabihin yan? So it deals with it deals with birds only. We study the birds. Okay? Yan. So how does it behave? to cope up with its environment, with the changing environment. Yung mga ganun ba? And then if we study about bacteria, how do they behave in relation to their environment? And so the same thing is true with humans. If we study human beings, how do we adapt to the changes in our environment, di ba? Yun yung oticology. Now, on the other hand, we have synecology or synecology. So it deals with the study of groups of organisms which are associated together as a unit. So ito parang basically how does one group of organisms, okay, affect a whole environment. Parang ganun yung synecology. Okay? So that's it. For some of you who might be interested in this, probably when you graduate from senior high and they're interested in this kind of discipline, you can enroll into environmental science or any related courses regarding this. Okay? O pwede rin, IT. Kasi sa IT, you study how to, alam mo yon, yung data about this, then how you deal with the data about yung mga organisms, things like that. So there's a lot, very, very broad, but we're going to narrow down our discussion into just the basic scope of ecology sa time nyo ngayon as senior high school, okay? Yan. So what do we need? What do you need to know while you are in this stage of your studies? Okay, so the scope of ecology basically seeks mainly to understand interaction among organisms, populations, communities, and the ecosphere. Ayan. Our ecosphere is also called the biosphere. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so later on, probably later on in our if we still have time, I don't know, because the first semester is very fast approaching, nearing the end. So I don't know, I hope we'll still have time to discuss yung 4 compartments of the Earth na kasama dyan ang biosphere. So we have the lithosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and then we have the biosphere. Okay? So let's continue. The levels of organization to understand, makita nyo dito, di ba? Here, ayan. There are, makikita nyo dito in this diagram that, mamaya, we will be discussing about the components of the ecosystem, which are the biotic and abiotic components. So here, let's have an overview how systems are working. So makita nyo, the biotic component and abiotic component are continuously interacting with one another, okay, to produce systems. So starting from the genes to give you genetic systems, and as they develop, okay? And to make the story short, let's move on to communities. Ayan, so lahat na ito, as they develop, it gives you populations, and group of populations will give communities. Now, communities interacting with their physical environment will give you what? Ecosystems. Ayan, so ito na yon, ecosystems. Alright? So this is just an overview. So let's go to ecosystems. Ayan. So how does ecosystem function? Okay, let me give you, sige, define muna natin. Ano ba ang ecosystem? Let's define ecosystem first. So an ecosystem, alright, is a community of organisms interacting with one another as well as with their non-living environment. It is a self-sustaining system which uses energy and the cycle of materials. Diba? Yan, siguro later on, I wish I could discuss with you itong cycling of materials. Ito yung mga dinidiscuss if you are familiar or if you have heard, siguro in your junior high school, you have heard of the different biogeochemical cycles. Tandaan nyo yung carbon cycle, water cycle. You remember that? Okay, ito yun. That's the one. That's it. Okay, so it is a collection of interdependent components, each with its own defined boundary. So let's see, let's continue para makita nyo. So in any ecosystem, there is a continuous exchange of energy and materials between living, yun yung biotic, and non-living, yun yung abiotic components, as well as there is interaction among living organisms in a given ecosystem. Yan. So let's see. Tingnan natin kung what we can how we are able to understand this. Okay. So looking at the diagram, we can conclude that there are two basic requirements for an ecosystem to function, okay, successfully. Diba? So ano yung dalawang basic requirements na yon? What are those? First, we have the acquisition, transformation, and transfer of energy. Okay, mamaya I'll explain that just a little. Kaunti lamang. Next, we have the gathering and the recycling of the materials necessary for life. Okay? Yan. So let me show you an overview of yung para makita nyo yung sinabi ko kanina, two basic requirements. Let me show you a diagram. So ito yon. Okay? Ecosystems function through material cycling and then energy flow. So dito sa energy flow, ito yung kanina nakita natin na acquisition, transformation, and transfer of energy, acquisition. Ito sa energy flow. Kasi itong mga material cycling na ito, all of the processes, okay, that are included for them to really, alam mo yun, ma-process, to function, lahat requiring energy. Sabi nga, for every dynamic process, whether physical, biological, require energy. Without energy, no process will ever proceed. Yan. Kaya itong dalawang to, they do not sabihin na natin, they do not function independently, but they are codependent, interdependent with one another. Diba? Kasi yung material cycling, it's always between living and non-living systems. Living and non-living systems. Okay, so let us continue. So we were discussing a while ago about this overview of ecosystem functioning. So makita natin in the diagram that ecosystems function through material cycling and energy flow. So like I said, all dynamic processes require energy to proceed. So itong dalawang ito, these are the two basic requirements for ecosystems to function successfully. Okay, so let's continue. Yan. O, yan. Isa-isahin na natin. What are the components of an ecosystem? First, we have the biotic component. So from the word bio, it is clearly understood that biotic component is the living part of an ecosystem. Okay? So ano-ano ba yung mga yun? What are those? What comprise the biotic component? First, we have the producers. Ayan, I don't know. I hope this is very, very familiar to you. The producers. These are also called the autotrophs. Okay? These are the self-nourishing, and their main activity include fixation of light energy, use of simple inorganic substances, build-up of organic substances. So ito yung mga self-nourishing organisms na they don't need any other ano. So the best examples of this are the plants. 'Di ba? The plants. Ayan. Oh, kasi they start with ano nga ba yung mga inorganic substances from which they start with. Oh, 'di ba kasi ito they fix energy from light. Kasi we need energy, di ba? You agree that we all need energy. But the ultimate source is the sun. Okay? And alam naman ninyo from your background that energy has many forms, di ba? We have mechanical energy, electrical energy, chemical energy, and then the ultimate source of all of this is the solar energy. We as human beings or any other organisms, except the producers, cannot fix light to be used. Only the producers can do that. So that is why a solar energy, they have to be what? Transform. Yun yung sinasabi natin kanina, acquisition, transformation, and transfer. They have to be transformed into a usable form. So ano yung usable form para sa atin? It's not solar energy. Hindi tayo yung tipong the animals, tayo as human beings, we cannot stay outside the sun and then we can gather materials for our own selves, or pag nagugutom tayo, bibilad lang tayo sa araw, busog na kaagad. No, we're not like that. So we need to transform the energy, okay? The producers are the one doing that. So they fix the light coming from the solar energy and then transform that into usable form na pwede nating gamitin. And what are those usable form? O yung transform into chemical energy. So that's why we eat food when we need energy. And food is an example of a chemical form of energy. So yun ang producers, okay? Then we have the consumers. Ayan. The consumers, tayo yun. Animals, all other forms of animals, human beings, and all other forms of animals. We are also called heterotrophs. O, ito, tayo yung, we are other nourishing organisms. We cannot fix our own food. We are dependent on producers, di ba? So we utilize complex materials and thus get their organic nutrients by feeding on the tissues of producers or other consumers. So, di ba? That's why we consume plants, we consume other animals. So, syempre, niluluto muna natin yon. So, wala na. Tapos na yung mga araw na raw ang kain. We cook. So, we consume chicken, pork, di ba? Beef. Yon. That's why we're called consumers. So we consume other organisms. And the materials that are in them and the energy as well that goes with these materials are transferred to us. Okay? And then we have decomposers. Ayan. These are also called saprotrophs. Ito naman, these are the consumers that recycle organic matter in ecosystems by breaking down dead organic materials. Okay, they are called detritus, to get nutrients and releasing the resulting simpler inorganic compounds into the soil and water, where they can be taken up as nutrients by producers. Because of this component of the ecosystem is as important as the producers. Diba? Kasi, you see, makita nyo, cyclic lang. The ecosystem is a cyclic process. From living, from inorganic and then down to organic, it goes through a long process and then goes back to the inorganic again. So yung decomposers, so, di ba? Pag may namatay na halaman, they are the ones that break down the components of the plants to make them available as carbon dioxide and water. Di ba? And then it needs energy. And then, di ba? Are you familiar with this process? Ito yung tinatawag nating photosynthesis. Di ba? From inorganic materials, carbon dioxide, water, and by the use of energy, all of these are converted or transformed into biomolecules. Okay? And then the development goes on and so forth. Okay? So yung decomposers are very important because kung wala itong mga ito, can you imagine a world that would be piled up with dead bodies, di ba? So the decomposers are the ones breaking them down so that the materials that are found in the consumers or even in the producers would be broken down again into smaller materials, making them available again. Kaya nga, di ba, yung nababasa nyo sa Bible, sa alabok galing, sa alabok babalik. Di ba? So it's just, life is just a cycle. Okay? Then, yan. So yun, we talked about the biotic component. So the biotic, basically, Ano yung mga important components or important processes, o kung ano man ang tawag doon. So we have the producers. So they are the one fixing energy from light, making them available to other organisms, which will be used up by the consumers, and then later on will be broken down by the decomposers. Now let's proceed to the abiotic component. So these are the non-living part. This is the non-living part of the ecosystem. Okay? So the non-living or abiotic components of an ecosystem are the physical and chemical factors that influence living organisms. Okay? So ano yun? We have the physical factors. So ano yung mga important physical factors that affect the environment, the ecosystem? We have sunlight and shade. Oh, di ba? So it always starts with sunlight. It's the ultimate source of energy that is needed in our ecosystem. Okay? Without this, there are no other forms of energy. Alam nyo, when we speak of energy, nako, ang lawak pa ng topic na yan. How I wish I could discuss them with you. But anyway, yan. Kaya nga, merong organisms that can't thrive even in broad daylight, and there are organisms that need to be shaded kasi they are affected by very, very, ang tawag dito, intense sunlight. So, kailangan ng shade. Then we have average temperature and temperature range. That's why there are organisms that can thrive only in, kaya nga, di ba, yung environment natin could be, sabihin na nating, how do you call it? Divided or stratified into different temperature range. Kaya nga meron tayong temperate climate, di ba? Meron tayong, ano nga yung tawag sa isa? Yung sobrang init, di ba? Sobrang lamig, di ba? And then we have average precipitation and its timing. O, di ba? That's why rain and snow can have impacts on the processes in the ecosystem, di ba? O kaya merong mga organisms that can thrive even in heavy rains, and there are organisms that can thrive in areas without rain. Yan. So all of this. And then wind. Oh, so wind. Latitude. Ano ba yung latitude? It's a distance from the equator. O, di ba? So and then we have altitude, distance above sea level. Kaya nga 'di ba, sa taas may nakikita ba kayong mga pine tree sa sea level? Nasa mataas na lugar lang 'yon, 'di ba? So ito yung sinasabi ko, that altitude can affect ecosystems. And then we have frequency of fire and nature of soil for land ecosystem. Yan, narinig niyo siguro yung mga forest fire. These are natural processes. Walang nagsunog sa forest. Natural yan. Kaya nga, yung frequency ng fire na yon can also affect, okay, yung ecosystem in this particular kind or type of ecosystem. O, di ba? Kaya saan ba nangyayari yung saan ba most frequent ang mga forest fire? Di ba sa mga hindi naman disyerto, no? But in areas that are halos ang init-init. Why? Because di ba may mga dahon na nalalaglag, natutuyo, and when those dried leaves reach their kindling temperatures, ano ba yung kindling temperature? The temperature at which an object begins to be ignited or magsindi. Ayan. O, pag na-reach yun. So, fire is also a natural process. Not all fires are man-made. Natural process din siya. Okay? And then we have water currents, amount of suspended soil materials, and these are all for aquatic ecosystem. Ayan. Diba? Ang haba pa nito. How I wish I could discuss this with you. Very interesting. But then, we have only 1 hour. Siguro in the next meeting, I will go through a little details of all of this. So for now, ito muna tayo. Okay? Next, we have the important chemical factors affecting ecosystems. Kanina. So all of these are the abiotic components or the non-living part of an ecosystem. So what are the important chemical factors that affect ecosystems? We have supply of water and air in the soil. O, di ba? So what are the requirements of a productive soil? Di ba? Water, aeration. Without all of this, it becomes deserted. Kaya nga sa disyerto, di ba? Walang air, walang water. O, kasi yung air nasa atmosphere na, wala na sa soil. O, kaya walang living organisms. Okay? And then we have supply of plant nutrients dissolved in soil, moisture, and in aquatic habitats. Okay? So, kaya nga 'di ba, depende sa nutrients. So, makikita nyo, 'di ba? Like for example, we have yung suha. But ang sarap-sarap ng suha or ng pomelo sa Davao. Sabi, kaya yung mga nagtitinda, sinasabi nila lagi, pomelo from Davao. Oh. Kasi iba yung nutrient. Kahit na may pomelo din, for example, sa Lukban o sa Ilocos o sa Bicol. But what makes the difference? Because of the nutrients available in the soil. Even if they are the same fruit, di ba? Yun yung ibig sabihin doon. And then, levels of toxic substances dissolved in soil, moisture, and in aquatic habitats. Okay, toxic. Oh, pero, di ba? Bakit nagkakaroon ng toxic substances? Ayan. Ito, lumalaw. But later on, all of these toxic substances are siguro I can say are a result of human activities and other activities. But then sabi ko nga, the environment has its own way of cleansing itself through the different material cycling na tinatawag natin. O, kaya ito, lahat ng ito, they also affect the processes in our ecosystem. Alright? Okay, so next, salinity. O, ano ba yung salinity? Saltiness, 'di ba? Yung ano nga ba yung sea na tinatawag nating Dead Sea? Is it the Red Sea? Bakit siya Dead Sea? Patay na? Puro patay ba nandoon? No. Because it's so saline, sobrang alat that no organism can survive. Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Kaya Dead Sea. Oh, so salinity can also affect, 'di ba? Activities in any ecosystem. Alright? Next, level of dissolved oxygen. Ito naman sa mga aquatic environments or aquatic ecosystems. Pag minsan, di ba, nakakabalita kayo sa radyo o sa TV, sorry, radyo, sa TV ng mga fish kills o biglang nabalita o lumutang, sandamakmak na mga namatay na isda sa ganitong lake o fish kill. One of the reasons probably is yung depletion ng oxygen. O kasi fish yun eh. They need oxygen to survive. And there are a lot of factors, so many, so broad to discuss it here. But I just want you to understand that oxygen, dissolved oxygen in aquatic in aquatic ecosystems can greatly affect aquatic lives, aquatic activities. Ayan. Kaya pag sobrang init, nadideplete ang oxygen, kasi nawawala sa tubig. Okay? Kaya namamatay ang mga isda. Right? Yan. Or if they cannot migrate to some other part of the aquatic ecosystem, yun. Kaya namamatay. Alright? Next. Ayan. I hope sige, let me introduce to you feeding relationships. Ano ba yung feeding? Kasi feeding is one of the relationships that can help us understand the activities of organisms in any ecosystem. Okay? Yan. It is one of the main forms of interaction between organisms. Kasi it's not always between the living and the non-living, but it's also between organisms, di ba? That they have interactions. And feeding is one. O ano ba yung feeding? One of the main forms of interaction. So when one organism consumes another, both energy and materials are transferred. Yun yun. Yun yung reason kung bakit we need to understand the feeding relationship. So the feeding processes form the framework for describing, analyzing, and comparing ecosystems. O bakit ba tayo on a broad scale, on a broad perspective, bakit ba tayo pilit na sinasakop ng China? Kasi we are so rich in natural resources. Ang dami-dami kasi nilang population eh. Kailangan nila ng more resources to feed their populations. Di ba? So it's a great impact on ecosystem processes, yung feeding relationship. Okay? So let's continue. Yan. So, let me just give you yung general feeding types para ano lang to ha, overview. If we, this will not, I hope this will help you understand, okay? Yung relationships ng organisms, okay? So we have the so-called specialist feeders. O yan. Ito yung mga organisms that feed only a limited range of specific organisms. Let me give you an example na lang to explain this. Yung panda. We hear of news that the panda is being endangered. Why? Because they feed only on bamboos. Bamboos lang ang kinakain nila. Eh ano nangyayari sa bamboos? O, di ba? Nauubos. O, they don't feed on other foods. Bamboos lang. O kaya sila endangered. So, sila yung tinatawag na specialist feeders. Ang hirap nilang mag-adapt to their environment. Then we have the generalist. Ayan. So these are organisms that feed on a variety of organisms depending on their relative availability. General, di ba? Kaya yung generalist feeders, sila yung mas nakaka-adapt eh. Sila yung mas tumatagal sa changes and sa environment. They can easily adapt to changes, not only in availability of food, but also in range of temperatures, di ba? Kasi yung mga specialist feeders, pwede rin nating sabihin na they can live and thrive only in a limited range of environmental conditions, di ba? So kaya nga pag yung tawag dito, if you, what do you think can happen if you bring a polar bear sa, let's say, sa Middle East? O di ba? Posibleng mamatay. Okay? Right. So that's it. I hope you get a perspective of what specialist and generalist feeders or species are. All right? O sige, if you have questions, reserve that for later. Let's continue. Ayan, the feeding relationships are described by two systems. We have the food chain and we have the food web. So, ano ba yung food chain? Yan, this is a transfer of food energy from the source in plants through a series of organisms with repeated eating and being eaten. Yung isang linya lang ba? Isa lang. Pero pag sinabi natin, okay, a food chain illustrates the transfer of matter and energy from primary producer to decomposer in a particular habitat. It is very rare to have 5 trophic levels due to low efficiency from level to level. Okay. So anyway, ang food chain is like, for example, kakain ng halaman, the plants will be consumed by, let's say, chicken, and the chicken will be consumed by one of you. Pag kumain kayo sa Jollibee, o di ba? O kaya ay sa KFC. Okay, so yun ang food chain. Parang isang linya ng feeding relationship. But, food chain types, we have the grazing food chain starts with plant, and then yung detritus food chain starts with dead bodies. So I hope you see the difference here. Pag sinabi natin grazing food chain, the starting point are the plants. Okay, so these are the herbivores, plant-based, then goes on to, so it starts from the producers and then down to the consumers. Yung detritus food chain is ito yung starting point ng feeding types of the decomposers. All right. Next, we have food webs. Oh, ito. A food web is a matrix of food chains. Okay. Food chains that are interlocking with one another. Okay. So these food webs are important to maintain the stability and significance of our ecosystem. Kasi kung food chain lang, madali, unstable yan. So this is a interlocking of food chains. Because food chains are not isolated sequences, but are interconnected with one another. Okay? So I hope you imagine, okay, a matrix of food chains. Matrix siya. And because food chains do not sabi na natin, they do not proceed. I mean, they are not isolated systems, but they are interlocked with other food chains. Okay? So making up a whole. Right? Next, yan. Speaking of food chains and food webs, dalawa yung importante na features that we can associate with them. Very, very important. Okay, so that we can, these are the foundations where we can really take care. Sabi ko kanina from the start, we are stewards of our environment. The different ecosystems are part of our environment and we are part of it. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihing labas ako dyan. We are part of it. In fact, we were mandated to really take care of our individual being what? The stewards of our environment. So what are these two important features? We have the bioconcentration. Yan. So ano ba yung bioconcentration? Is the potential of organisms, okay, to concentrate materials from the environment in significant amounts directly or indirectly through feeding or respiratory activities. Okay. So ano yun? Ano ba yan? O, di ba? Sige, simple na lang. Bigyan ko yun ng example. Di ba? Sometimes we hear of, sasabihin sa inyo ng parents nyo, oh, kumain ka ng liver because it is rich in iron. Ayan. That's an example of bioconcentration. Through the different processes, na-concentrate yung iron sa liver. Diba? Or sometimes you say, oh, you eat fruits because they are rich in vitamins and minerals or in vitamin C. Yun, na-concentrate doon sa mga species na yon, yung material na yon. Okay? And syempre, lahat yon for a purpose. Okay? Now, the other feature is biomagnification. Ayan. When one contaminated organism consumes another, some materials can be further concentrated during their passage through the food web. Ayan, food web. Yeah, such materials become concentrated at each trophic level. Now, ito namang biomagnification, this is the process in our ecosystem where the materials could be distributed into the different ecosystems. Na ma-magnify kasi, nadidistribute sa iba-iba. Because sabi ko nga sa inyo, food chains are what? Processes that are interlocking with one another. Okay, so through biomagnification, excuse me, they are distributed. So they become available also to other ecosystems, not just in one ecosystem. All right? But the problem here is, pag ang na-magnify, ang na-distribute sa iba-ibang ecosystem ay mga, what? Pollutants. Diyan nagkakaroon ng problema. Because pollutants are also substances that are being consumed through the different, what? Food chains that could also be concentrated at each food chain and also be distributed to the different, what? Ecosystems. Yan. Okay? So, that's it. Ayan. Thank you. God bless.